Morning, we're starting a major new Sefer Ezra. Okay. Mazel tov to all the Simon and Daniel. Okay, so now, first of all, we're going to dedicate the first year in honor of Eli Geller. Wow. Major shout out. Wow. He's been helping the share grow, so major shout out for him, and he's also very involved. He's one of the secret people that every day listen to the share, and every day they give me all the hagais on the share. They give me all the hagais about the share. So, anyways, just wanted to dedicate it in his honor. Also, today's share is in honor of Ezra Gabriel Williams from Florida, one of our great sponsors. Also, Avi Cooperstein, for coming to the share, and Will Shmuel Shmelka. Shmuel Shmelka, welcome. Okay, let's get started. So now we're going to get started in Sefer Ezra. Okay, so this one a bunch of akdamas of what's happening here. So we know we had. Okay, so we had a bunch of Goliaths before, and then we had the Churban, right? And then we had a bunch of kingdoms. I want to just go through it, maybe just give a little, to understand exactly where we are. So we had the first Goliath. What was the very, very first Goliath before Klal Yisrael went before the Churban? Was Goliath Yehuda. Okay, Goliath Yehuda was in year 605 BCE. Okay, that Goliath was when Yehuda was killed. The death of Yaakov was killed. We know he famously got killed on the way to Babel. And in that Golus, I'll go even before. And let's go even before. Nevuchadnetzar becomes the Melech. And that year he captures Nineveh, and he comes towards Eretz Yisrael. Okay, he gets to Eretz Yisrael the same year. Maybe it's a little later in the year, whatever exactly. And what happens is he goes to Eretz Yisrael and he takes Yaakov. The question is exactly when this all happened. Was it 3 years later? Because based on the psukim, it doesn't work out so well. But whatever, he comes to Israel and he makes a golus called Golus Yehuda. At that point, he takes Yehuda and he basically brings the Govel on the way. He chained him up and he killed him essentially on the way. But during that golus, a bunch of Talmidei Chachamim went down to Israel, and that's when Daniel went down. So Daniel went down early on. This is like way before the Churban. Okay. Then there was the second golus. We had the golus of Yechaniah. That was 8 years later. The reason why Hashem did this was to give time for Klal to do tshuva. What happened was when the first part of Klal Yisrael, right, when it got destroyed, the Tasha Shvatim, there was also a lead up, and then they didn't get the message. Eventually, the Tasha Shvatim went to golus, and now Hashem was giving a chance. The first he made the first golus, and now the second golus, the golus of Yechaniah. Eventually, they had the Second Beis HaMikdash, okay? And then that was the last Golus, and that was the Golus of Tzekio. So again, there's 3 Golus in. Right. The 3 Golus in. The first Golus is of Yaakov, Yechaniah, and then there's the Churban, which is by Tzekio. And then they let whoever it was, they let Babel, and they left a few people in Eretz Yisrael just to keep the land. Right. Then we had the famous Nevuah that says, Yirmiyahu, that's going to be 70 years. And after 70 years, Klal Yisrael will go out of Golus. So the big question is, this 70 years, everyone talks 70 years, and Balshazzar made a cheshbon, Daniel made a cheshbon, Nach made a cheshbon. That means we know of Golus is 70 years. The question is from when? Is it from the first Golus, the Golus of Yehuda? Is it 70 years from Nevuchadnetzar becoming the Melech? Is it 70 years from the Golus of Yehuda? When is it? Okay, so Balshazzar said it's from the first Golus, the Yehuda. Achashverosh said it's from the second Golus. Daniel also had a cheshbon. Daniel was actually said it was 1 year later. He said it was 1 year after Nebuchadnezzar became the Melech, and that's why we had in the end. In Daniel says, "Oh, it's already over." According to his cheshbon, he says, "Where's the Geula?" And that's why Daniel put the whole tefillah in. He said, "Where's the Geula?" So again, you hear a lot of 70 years. What all that means, and a very simple thing is we know that 70 years in the B from of Golus, and the question, when does that start? And based on that, we'll know when the Geula is, because everyone was very antsy for the Geula, because a lot of people then saw Bayis Rishon, and they're like, we want to get back. And that was Daniel. Like Daniel, we know, was there by Bayis Rishon. He was there through the entire Golus. And not only that, he was there 18 years into Bayis Sheni. So he was very, very, very old. Anyways, so now, okay, so now also, and I just want to go a little further, so now we had, Babel came in, right? That was Nevuchadnetzar. And then eventually Babel falls. When Babel falls, we had Paras Hamada. That was when we had the handwriting on the wall. And then once Babel fell, we had Paras Hamada came in. Mother was there for 1 year, and the Paras was 3 years. Okay? Now, Koresh. Who's Koresh? We're going to start with Koresh. Koresh was there he was the king of Madai. He came in year 2 after Belshazzar, right? The guy Belshazzar was the end of Babel. The handwriting on the wall, and Babel falls. And then Paras and Madai. So Madai came first. Madai was there for 1 year, right? And then, which was Dayavesh. And then Koresh comes in year 2, yeah, of Paras, which is year 1 of Paras. Is that clear? Basically, after Babel comes Paras and Madai is Koresh. That's just a simple way. I'll just give more detail, but that's the basic understanding. So now Ezra talks about Koresh. Okay, so Koresh, I'm going to give a little more Akdama. Koresh says, you know what? It's time to build the Beis HaMikdash. Now, where did that come from? It came like this, because we know when Babel fell, we had that Belshazzar has a big party, and at the party of Belshazzar, he said, the 70 years are over according to my cheshbon, and there's no Beis HaMikdash. So he says, okay. He takes a came of Beis HaMikdash, and he's mevazit. He uses it for his party. He says, hey, there's no Beis HaMikdash. He felt like he almost like won over Kadosh Baruch, whatever that means. He thought, okay, I can do what I want. And at that party, Koresh was by the party, and Koresh says, if I'm going to ever become a king, if I win, I'm not going to do like Belshazzar. Because Belshazzar mevazit the king of Beis HaMikdash, and because of that he was punished. He was killed that night. So I don't want to do that. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to let the Yidden build the Beis HaMikdash. I'm going to go even further. So why is his name Koresh? Chazal say his name was Dayavesh. But really, it was called Koresh because he was kosher. Melech kosher haya. So that's just the idea. So now, Ezra starts off that Koresh comes in. He says, I want to give a Kaisel permission to build the Beis HaMikdash. And that's where we're starting today. So let's get started. Pasuk Aleph. V'shnas achash hakorech mel paras lachos dvar Hashem pi Yirmiyahu. So in the first year of Koresh, again, this is the first year of Melech Paras. Lachos dvar Hashem pi Yirmiyahu. Means upon the conclusion of the prophecy of Yirmiyahu, which says that there's going to be 70 years, right, between in the goals will be 70 years. So Hari Hashem as Ruach Kari Hashem put into Koresh Melech Paras, and what did he do? But Yaver Kol he made a big announcement. Begam Michtav Lema. He writes a big letter. So again, Koresh puts out a big announcement, a big letter, and he writes, Koresh Melech Paras. So says Koresh, the king of Paras. And all the kingdoms that Hashem has given me, okay, Hashemayim, he acknowledges Hashem as okay, Hashemayim, who Pakad Alai, live nice loy Bayes Bishulayim, Hashem Yehuda. And it's time now that he's commanding, he said Hashem commanded me, I should go ahead and I should build the Beis HaMikdash that's in Yehuda. Okay? Where did Hashem command him? So Rashi brings down, because there's a nevuah from Yeshaya, that what? It says Kayam Hashem, before that, the Yishalayim Tivna V'Hechel Tivase. It's just a nevuah of Yeshaya. It says that there's going to be someone, and he says it's referring to him, is going to go ahead and rebuild the Beis HaMikdash. So based on the nevuah of Yeshaya, right? Again, Yeshaya was before the Churban, and the nevuah says that someone's going to build the Beis HaMikdash, and he says that Yishalayim Tivna V'Hechel Tivase is referring to me, and therefore Hashem told me I should build the Beis HaMikdash. Okay, so he's going to give permission for Klal Yisrael to go build Beis HaMikdash that's in Yehuda, that's in Yishalayim in Yehuda. Okay, Pasuk Gimel. Okay. Mi b'chem echol amoy yehi alihav imay v'yal Yishalayim asher b'Yehuda. So now he says like this. He says whoever is with mi b'chem echol amoy yehi alihav imay. He says whoever amongst Klal Yisrael could go to do it. In other words, he's basically saying everyone Klal Yisrael should come and should go up to go build the Beis HaMikdash. Second, right there. Okay. But even as Beis Hashem, okay, Yisrael, and they should go build the house of Hashem. Who came Hashem B'Shalayim? Yeah. Okay. I skipped a little bit. So basically, saying everyone should go now is go ahead and Klal Yisrael should build the Beis HaMikdash. Zok the pasuk dal v'chol nisher, and anybody that doesn't go, who goes sham, anyone who doesn't in all the places that he lives. Yes, now we should give money. If you don't go, you should give. You should give. The people should give b'chasav azav v'chush behema. So let's say he says you can't go. So you should donate. Exactly. You should give money. You should give gold, silver, valuables, or your animals. So he said, if you can't go, it's like Rashi, why can't you go? Very interesting Rashi. Rashi says, any year you can't go. So what does it mean a year can't go? It means because he doesn't have money. So of course, if you had money, you went. Meaning all the people that went obviously had money. But if you're poor, the only reason maybe is you're poor. So if you're poor, it's okay. So give money to donation. So you're part of this movement of building the Beis HaMikdash. Oh, so it means it's that a little money. So you should be part of it. Be part of give something exactly. Yeah.
It costs a lot of money.
Okay. Ve'yikumu.
Send them a link.
So what happened? Ve'yikumu Rashi Avos the Yehuda Yamin Kahanim Levim. So now what happened? All the Rashi Avos of Yehuda and Yamin and the Kahanim Levim. Where's the rest of Klal Yisrael? They're in Golos, right? The Shvatim are gone. So who was left? The people went to Babylon, the other people from Yehuda at the end, because pretty much the Shvatim were pretty much gone, and then you have the Klal Yisrael, whoever's left over went at the end in the three Golosian of Bavel. So whoever's left over, which was the Rashi Avos, Yehuda, Yamin, Kahanim Levim, it does bring down, by the way, that it does bring down. There were some people that came back from Shvatim, but that's not the main people. So those Rashi Avos, Yehuda, Yamin, Kahanim Levim, Chol Eir Elikim as Ruchai Lalis Livnais as Beis Hashem Yishalayim, and they should all go and to Eretz Yisrael again to build the Beis HaMikdash in Yishalayim. Okay. Now pasuk Vav. B'chol sivasehem chiske biyadam biydehem b'chli chesef b'zav v'chush behema magida ugendenais levad es kol hanasnade, which means he says that everyone should go ahead and they should sorry. He's saying is like this. He's saying all the people that should go. So Rashi over here it's referring to even the Goyim. He's saying is that even the Goyim should go ahead and they should give money on the way for the way of traveling. It's to be a long travel. So they should give besides giving money to the Beis HaMikdash, they should also give money towards the trip, towards the journey. So he's saying is you should give, and also you should give them the way Matsuda learns. It says you should give. He teaches it to mean peiros, vavushim, and kalim. You should give all types of stuff. Maybe give some candy, some treats, whatever it is. It's a long journey. To realize we're in Iraq and we go to Yerushalayim. I actually figured it out. It's 500 miles. If you travel every day 20 miles, you can do it in 25 days. Right. So most people, let's say, do 10 miles a day. It'll take you 2 months.
7 hours of the car.
So right. So now what happens is 42,000 people go with Zerubbabel, and they go to Eretz Yisrael, and they go towards to build the Beis HaMikdash. It's interesting. Ezra didn't go. Daniel didn't go. And we'll get to maybe why exactly. But just the interesting thing is that 42,000 people went, and it was through Zerubbabel, and
Ezra didn't go up to Eretz Yisrael.
He did, but he didn't go right away. Daniel didn't either go right away.
They were the leaders.
Take that. So Ezra didn't go because his Rebbe didn't go, and he didn't want to leave his Rebbe. No, Ezra. Daniel.
Who's Ezra?
Baruch ben Buri, was it?
Oh, we had a guy who's...
Yeah, no. See, we'll get there. I'm not actually prepared in that part, so I don't want to say. But the basic understanding is that 42,000 people went, and they went, and it was again, we're talking about 500 miles, so it's a big journey. So he basically commanded everyone to give money to.
I think if there was El Al back then, everybody would have gone.
And you can afford it.
Who's the cheap one? North something?
Arkia maybe.
No.
Okay, right. Let's go back. Okay. Give me 1 second. Fine. Yeah, that's a Rashi. Rashi says, "What does mean Chosef Zem? Choam Shayil Shcheinim." He saw all the nations that are neighbors. They saw. So they should go help. They should give him chizik. Yedei Yehuda Mekasem Azov Matan Sahalalu L'man Yuchos Hal Yishalayim. It means the goyim should give, meaning everyone should go ahead and give people along the way. Right. Okay. Could be okay. I think it means even more. The way Rashi is, as they're going to Yerushalayim, it's a long journey. So maybe along the way, as we're going, they should give food, clothing. Yeah. Okay. Pasuk Zayin. Now, King Koresh Haisi as Kli Beis Hashem, Asher, Hoitzi, Nevuchadnetzar, Yishalayim, Vayidem, Beis, Elihav. So he takes now, so if you remember earlier, we had that Nevuchadnetzar, he took the Kalim of Beis HaMikdash, and he put it by his Avodah Zarah. And then after that, he realized that it's not such a good idea, so he put it into storage. Okay. So now Koresh takes the Kalim that Nevuchadnetzar took, and he's going to go ahead and he's going to give it to Klal Yisrael to bring up to the Beis HaMikdash. So that's what happened. So he takes it, and Pasuk Ches Yitziyim Koresh Melch Paras Ayidei Ayad Mishradas Hagizbar. That's his name, Mishradas Hagizbar. And he takes the Kalim, he counts them. L'shash batzar hanasi Yehuda. So he gives it to his treasurer, right? Mishradas, and then he goes ahead, he counts it because it's a lot of kalim, and it's like gold, silver, expensive kalim, and he gives it to shash batzar. Nasi Yehuda. Now who's shash batzar? So it's either Zubavel, that's the Pasha understanding. In addition, Masuda brings down, and it's also Rashi brings down that who is it? It's really Daniel. Okay, it's not like I told you yesterday. I told you yesterday Daniel came later. Rashi brings down Shash Bazar is really Daniel. Now, why is it called Shash Bazar? Rashi says, Lama Nikra Shemar Shash Bazar Sha'amad Shei Sharis. He witnessed in his life six major tzaras. What were the six major tzaras? So we know he witnessed first of all the three Galus of Yaakov, Yechanya, Tzedkiyahu, which is the Churban, and also the other three. He witnessed. Well, I'm going to skip a little bit, go back, but basically he was thrown in the lion's den. Also, he was around at the time that Cyrus of Persia, and also he almost got killed. And the time Nevuchadnezzar had the first dream. Remember, Nevuchadnezzar had the first dream. He didn't know Pshat in the dream, and he goes ahead, says, and he tells, he didn't know the dream or the Pshat in the dream, and he wanted to kill everybody. And then suddenly Daniel's like, no, I know how to read dreams. I know Nevuah, whatever. I'll figure it out. And his life got saved. So there's six major stories that happened in his lifetime. Therefore, it's called Sheish Bazar. Like it comes with Sheish Saras. Okay. So, anyways, he gives. So either it's Daniel or it's Balshat or it's Rubavel. Okay. Now, he takes the Kalim and he gives it to them, and they bring it down to Eretz Yisrael to return it back to Shalayim and eventually to bring it to the Beis HaMikdash. For Elam is Baram, and now what? The numbers? No, yeah. So what's the count? So what's the count now of the Kalim? So to go through now the next two psukim, I'm going to go through the Kalim that he brought back. So now we have a gartale. A gartale, so either means it was the washing cups or it's the cup for the Makabel the Dam, and that was Zav Shloishim. That was made out of pure gold, and there were 30 of those cups. Now the gartale Chesef was Elef, but the gartale of silver was 1,000. Before showing down, what's the chil between the two? So if it was for behemoth gas, if it was, let's say, a cow, so that they use the silver because there's much more blood, so and it's a much bigger cup, so therefore they use the less expensive one, which is silver. But a small animal, let's say a lamb, there they use the gold because the gold was less blood and it was a small cup, so that they had 30 and that they had 1,000. Okay. Now a machlofim, which is the knives, was Tisha Esrei. They're 29 knives. Now why is it called? That's just interesting. Well, why is it called machlofim? So the Metzudah brings down. What? What's exactly? What a chalaf? Exactly. He brings it from the pasuk Yeshaya. And why is it called a chalaf? What's part of a chalaf knife? Because it's chalaf. It switches between Chaim and Lamisa. A knife kills, so it's chalaf, and that's why the Beis HaMikdash, where they stored the knives, was called Beis HaChalifos, because that's look at the Metzudah and brings that down. Yes, yeah. There
was a room.
I hear. Is a Mishnah Midos that brings down. You look it up. There's a room called Beis HaChalifa, and that's where they was. That's the place where they put Shesham Gonzik Kahanim Sakanehem. That's where they used to hide the knives. It was in that room. And now Kapari Zav Shloishim, they had 30 bowls, and Kapari Chesev Mishnim, golden bowls with 30, and Kapari Chesev Mishnim. What's Mishnim? Mishnim is like an interesting cup. It's like a double-sided cup that like you can use it you can flip it. There's like a hole on the bottom. Imagine a cup that had like reversible cup. You use it both ways. Yeah. And that they had Abrameus. That's they had 410. Kalim Acherim Elef, and the other Kalim, which it doesn't mention, there was 1,000. Okay. Now Kol Kalim Zav Chesed Chamesh Alafim Abrameus. So if you add it all up, the pasuk says it's 5,400. The only problem is if you take a calculator and you add it up, it's not true. If you add it up, it adds up to $24.99. So how does it's like literally half. So Farshim will bring down that these are the main kalim. Of course, there was a lot of spoons and forks, and that's not so important. So the main kalim was $24.99, but the total, what the real number was 5,400. Hakol ha'ela shat basar im halas goyla ben Babel Yishalayim, and all these kalim, he took it, and when they started the journey, they got it all together, and they brought it from Babel to Yishalayim. So now, just to understand, so that's the end of this very short parak. That's the end of the parak. So just today, we just to understand, the goal is that they're going out to build the Beis HaMikdash, and they're getting ready for the journey, and they got all the kalim, and they're heading out to Eretz Yisrael, to Shalayim. Have a good day.